Or founded Deep Purple, then Rainbow, and dominated the rock scene for 20 years. But he's given it all up to embrace a much gentler sound. It's something of a musical love story too. His new vocalist and lyricist, Candice Knight, is also his fiancée. They're appearing at the Newcastle Opera House tonight, and Helen Ford will be speaking to them shortly. But first, here's Richie in his noisier days. Well, it's all changed since then. So let's join Helen Ford, who's over with Richie and Candice at the Opera House.
Fans of music may be surprised to learn that Richie Blackmore is now a member of the quietest band in the world. That's certainly how the line-up's being described. It's called Blackmore's Night, and the name is obviously a combination of Richie's own surname and that of Candice Knight, who's Richie's partner both in life as well as in music. Both have joined us this evening to tell us a little bit about the concert before tonight. Hello to both of you. Richie, to start off with, the music that you're playing is described as Renaissance, medieval, folk rock. What does all that mean?
It's confusing, I suppose, really, because we love to play Renaissance music and we're mixing that with a form of rock and roll and folk. But we're also trying to open the door so that people see and hear the classical Renaissance music. So it's a bit of both. And I would say that 50% of what we do on stage is Renaissance music, and about 50% is rock and roll.
So Candice, what attracted you to this form of music?
There's so much romanticism to the music, the elements on it. Well, the actual melodies, the melodic content of it is absolutely brilliant. It's very soul-stirring, very moving, very passionate. But it's the imagery of that romance and that chivalry that really drew me to it.
Bearing in mind that the essence of the music is hundreds of years old, how do you make it applicable to today?
Well, I think that generally we have the same kind of standards as back then. I mean, personally, we want the romance, we want the chivalry, we want the nobility and the honor, those kind of systems. And there are a lot of negatives about that time period, but there's a lot of negatives, I think, about every time period. So as we choose that to be our fantasy time. So when I write of the fantasy of that day, the imagery of those days, the castles and the knights on horseback and all the wonderful things that we choose to remember of those times.
Now you're going to play for us. Can you just tell us a little bit about the music?
Yes, this is written by Henry VIII. It's called Pastime with Good Company.
Go ahead.
It's in the key of G.
Thank you very much. Just a word about tonight's performance, and I know that you're very keen for the audience to actually get involved and not just sit there on their seats. How are you going to make sure that they can do that?
Well, we have a certain amount of rows in the front, specialized seating, to tell people that if they want to dress up in full Renaissance regalia and medieval garb, that we will be saving those seats for them, and we hope that they all dress up. We usually get a lot of people dressed up. And
the men can dress up in women's clothing.
Whatever their
gives them a little
preference,
bit of
it's okay,
gist.
as long as they dress up, that's all right. And just get them all to sing along and have it almost as one big party and really just have people enjoy themselves.
Yes.
A night to remember.
I hope that you do enjoy yourselves this evening, and thank you very much for joining us
Thank
on the
you.
programme. And with that, it's back to Mike in the studio.